Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is King's Day in the Netherlands, April 27th, and we are alongside the Polderbaan, currently in use as runway 18 right, and at the moment the only runway in use for arrivals. Happy King's Day to each and every one of you. At the moment we are seeing a Tel Aviv inbound El Al 737 touchdown. Let's quickly turn around the camera. Inbound next is a CRJ from SAS, inbound from Stockholm. Let's see, there it is. Een hele goede morgen Wilma en Jan Kees. Bart, goedemorgen. Zie je zo meteen. Henkie, goedemorgen, good morning. Lance, good morning. Lance asks, is the King flying today for the KLM? Well, unfortunately, the King on King's Day has other obligations. Not too long ago, he had to do important things on King's Day, such as throwing toilet bowls, drink all kinds of local drinks. Important stuff. So unfortunately the King will not be doing any flying today. Foto for you, goedemorgen. Goed je weer te zien. Renate Liepa, good morning. Hey there, Eddie, goedemorgen. Checking in from Almere, where it is probably sunny as well. I will show you guys a bit of the current weather after this landing. Looking at flight radar, I don't see any traffic immediately following this airplane. And SAS CRJ vacating the runway over here where the first exit is. Goedemorgen Wendy, goedemorgen Andre, Ant-Man, goedemorgen, good morning. Hey, and happy birthday my friend. Jet-lagged in Sliedrecht. What a way to celebrate King's Day. Goedemorgen Roy, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hey daar Marissa, goedemorgen. So, as you guys can see, at the moment the sun is out. We have some high clouds. It is expected to be a sunny day today, although they do say that later in the day it is going to get more cloudy. I think there is an area of rain over the United Kingdom at the moment that is gradually moving towards the Netherlands over the day. And for tomorrow they are saying that it's going to rain. Hey there Gisela, guten Morgen, happy King's Day. So this is to the north. You guys can see it is still mostly blue sky, but there is some high clouds here and there scattered. The wind is blowing from the southeast, not too hard. I think it's 7 knots or so. So not exactly windy. It's not that warm at the moment, although with the sun out it does feel warmer than it actually is. It is still 7 degrees centigrade at the moment. That is 44 or so degrees Fahrenheit. It is set to warm up to 10 degrees later during the day. That's today's high. So that would be approximately 50 degrees Fahrenheit. This is towards the south. And once again, this is facing west, so yeah. Milky sky somewhat. Hopefully the sun comes out a bit more later during the morning. We'll have to see. Goedemorgen Donna, long live the king, hail the king, hoera, hoera, hoera. So, this will be the last day that I will be streaming with my Rode video mic. Yesterday I pulled the trigger for an upgrade, a Sennheiser MKE 600 shotgun mic, which is critically acclaimed, at least according to the internet, so hopefully that will also make for no more crackling during more windy conditions. Last Monday still had some crackling during the stream, unfortunately, despite the pouch, so everything 15 knots or so and upwards with this microphone, even with the pouch, still produces crackling. Hopefully the Sennheiser will get rid of that problem. Now also something that I found out over the last couple of days is how to do a split screen on my phone. Even though Flight Radar in itself is not compatible with doing split screen, apparently in Android you can enable developer settings and then you can sort of force a split screen. So I now have both Flight Radar and the live chat in my screen at all times, which means I don't have to switch between apps anymore, missing out on notifications and interesting chats. I was a bit late Monday with spotting the private jet from Max Verstappen, although people were already mentioning it in the chat, but then at the time I had Flight Radar open and I missed it and I was a bit late. So hopefully from now on that will no longer be an issue. Good morning, Blackburst 1999. 99. Now I am seeing two airplanes arrive, one from the left, one from the right, on Flight Radar. I don't see them visually yet, but they are both flying towards the glide slope of runway 18 right. Hey there Janus, good morning. Hope you're doing well, mate. Happy King's Day. Happy King's Day to you all. I think the first flight is going to come in from the right, although it is still up north and probably not visible until it is on the glide slope already. It is an Embraer E2-195 inbound from Berlin from KLM. Brand new. First flight was in January this year. And coming in from the west is an EasyJet Airbus A380 inbound from Birmingham that is 7 years old, that had its first flight in January 2016. Hey there Yorkshire Biker, good morning, happy King's Day my friend. Photo for you asks, heb je oranje tompoezen bij je? I did go to the HEMA around 8 o'clock, just when they were open, to get some tompoes pastries. I couldn't order them online anymore, reserve them. So I figured, well, let me just go when they open. There was actually a line already. It's a Dutch thing that everybody on King's Day eats a tompoes pastry, and we have this branch of stores in the Netherlands, very old already, called HEMA, and that's typically the go-to address to get those pastries for a lot of people. Although arguably real pastry chefs will probably make better tasting ones, but so I did grab a few, put them in the fridge at home before going out, so later during the day I can have that pastry. Hey there, good morning Mark Webbo Webster. Goedemorgen. Happy King's Day. Miss Wolves 13, good morning. Happy King's Day to you too. So the two aforementioned planes are now both flying towards us. The first one being the E2 Embraer 195 inbound from Berlin from KLM. It's going to be followed by the A320 from EasyJet inbound from Birmingham. Let me zoom out a little bit on flight radar. There's also an Embraer 190 from KLM inbound from Prague underway, coming in from the east. Looking to the west, I can see that there's a Dreamliner from KLM inbound from New York JFK, 7879. Still flying over the North Sea, should be here in, 10-15 minutes or so. Now I think I already see the lights of the E2 Embraer 195, so let me see if I can zoom in on it and if my camera can maintain focus on it. Let me see, where is the little... Oh yeah, I have to move a little bit, then I can see the out of focus lights. Come on, you had the focus just now. Okay, back down, back up, there we go. E2 Embraer 195, brand new, first flight, January this year, still under warranty. Hey, that sounds good, Wendy. Berenburg Schnitt. A pastry made with Berenburg, which is a liquor with herbs, well known here in the Netherlands. Photo for you says it sounds very quiet along the Polderbaan. Well, you're absolutely right, my friend. At the moment, looking behind me, yeah, I'm the only one currently here. I have the place all to myself, although I did already see two police cars passing by. One just now and the other one while I was setting up. Two pedestrians just going for a walk. I think that's it. Little bit of reverse thrust there. And exit at the first exit. Very atypical arrival for a KLM Embraer. Mostly they keep up the speed and take a later exit to make the taxi time as short as possible. But yeah, nobody here. And behind me also nobody here. Got the place all to myself. For how long remains the question. Maybe if people who celebrated King's Night last night have warmed up again and are done sleeping in, maybe more visitors will come this way. Hey there, good morning Samuel. Happy King's Day. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good morning, Jerry. Starting the day with beer and donuts. That is an excellent combination. Although, maybe not for breakfast. But it would make a good brunch. Now, during setting up, I haven't seen the firefighters doing their patrol yet, so who knows? We might be seeing them later. Don't know, maybe they already did their round earlier, before me arriving to the scene. That could be the case, I don't know. We'll see eventually. I'm doing well, Somil. It's a lovely day over here. Not too cold, not too windy, not too busy. So yeah, I'm a happy camper. Morning, Matt. How are you today? And Mid-KS, if I pronounce that correctly, said everyone went for celebrations. That's absolutely right. We also have a tradition here that before King's Day, there's King's Night, the night leading into King's Day. And in many cities there are already a lot of celebrations going on. So I'd imagine that a lot of people are a bit hungover, maybe even a bit under the, what's the right term? Undercooled? Is that the right word? It has been a cold night over here. The Red Cross even warned yesterday for wearing warm clothes. I think we also had some frost last night. So how about that? And even the ducks are to the markets. Photo for you says, well, looking around, I think you're right. I haven't seen any ducks or other birds so far. Also no bird controllers. No, Wilma, I think under the weather is just specifically when you're sick. Then you're under the weather if you have the flu or if you have the cold. So I think it's a different term, but anyway. Elske, goedemorgen, good morning. Visited Keukenhof yesterday. And the Polderbaan is exactly a very short drive if you are also in the vicinity. How was it in the Keukenhof? I'd imagine a lot of people. I drove by the entrance just now on my way over here and I could already see the parking place over there was fully loaded with campers and pedestrians. Ah! Just in time to see a queen depart. Well timed, well timed. So inbound next is an Embraer 190 inbound from Prague. After that we are going to see the Dreamliner inbound from New York JFK. 7879 Dreamliner. Okay. Taking the first exit. I do already see the Dreamliner arriving. Now I can also see that there's a 777 from Air Canada closing in. Probably going to be number 3 or 4. There's an Embraer 190 first following this Dreamliner. Hey there, Jean-Yves, good morning. Happy King's Day. So this is KLM flight 644 we are looking at, which is we were looking at it. Let me do that again. There we go. So KLM flight 644, Boeing 7879 Dreamliner, 6 years old, had its first flight in June 2016, inbound from New York JFK. And it departed there, according to flight radar at least, 6 hours and 30 minutes ago. Looking at flight radar, it does seem like it's getting a bit more busy. You can also see Delta Airlines flight 74 closing in, almost near the coast. It's an A350 inbound from Atlanta. Hey there, Sander, goedemorgen. Happy King's Day, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And a little wheelie to boot. Hey Paul, good morning. Happy King's Day, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again. Hey Danny Rules, good morning. Alright, let's have a look. Inbound next is an Embraer 190 from British Airways, operated by BA City Flyer, inbound from London City, where it left 37 minutes ago. And this airplane, 13 years old, first flight was in January 2010. After that, we are going to see the daily flight from Tarom, inbound from Bucharest, Boeing 737-800, which left Budapest 2 hours and 35 minutes ago. And that's a 10-year-old vehicle, had its first flight in March 2013. Hey Joppie Joppie, goedemorgen, good morning. Happy King's Day. Yeah, Matt, I agree. We did have a lot more 747s back in the day, a few years ago. They've all been replaced by Dreamliners and triples and other modern aircraft. Of course, they are still used for cargo operations, at least the 400s, the 800s too. And I think here in Europe, is it only Lufthansa that still operates them also for passenger flights? The 800s, that is. Didn't BA already also phased out completely their 747s for passenger operations? Really hard to even get on a flight with a 747 these days anymore. You too, congratulations with Willy Joppie Joppie. And Marissa confirming that only Lufthansa still flies the 747s here in Europe, so... And Lance, I think I don't remember the joint liveries anymore, but I do still remember the time that Northwest and KLM had a partnership together. And you would see the MD-11s, I think they flew more regularly. But that was also back in the day that KLM itself also still operated the MD-11 for passenger operations. Late 90s, early 2000s or so. But did they ever have a joint livery? Sort of orange pride, front being one livery, back being another livery, the other livery of the two? If they did have that, then I would have to look that up. Sounds interesting. If I recall correctly, Northwest was gray and red, so that would make a striking livery combined with the white and blue of KLM. I think I might even still have some footage of one of those old MD-11s from Northwest, taken from the Spottersplaats at the Kaagbaan, with a very, very old potato Canon power shot. Maybe 2 megapixels or so. Okay, so inbound next. Lufthansa inbound from Frankfurt, and after that we are going to see the Air Canada triple. Hey, I hear something. I think that might be the firefighters. Yes, sir. Here they are, their daily patrol. Right, Air Canada flight 808, Boeing 777-200 long range, inbound from Toronto, where it left 7 hours and 2 minutes ago, according to flight radar. The age of this airplane, 15 years. First flight was in February 2008. Okay, inbound next, Croatia Airlines, flight 450 inbound from Zagreb, where it left 1 hour and 51 minutes ago. It is an Airbus A319, 22 years old. First flight was in June 2000. After that, we are going to see the A350 from Delta Airlines inbound from Atlanta. Hey there, good morning, Josh. Tuning into the stream from Alabama. Happy King's Day, even though you probably don't know what it is, and even if you do, you probably don't celebrate it. So it is actually the birthday today of our king, who's now somewhere in his 50s. I don't know exactly how old he is. So today we celebrate the birthday of our king, and what he then typically does is with his entire family, he goes to visit one of the towns in the Netherlands. Could be a city, could be a smaller town, where they organize all sorts of activities, typically some games, some maybe some exposition from some local club. And it all gets televised on national TV. Inbound next, Delta Airlines Flight 74. It is an Airbus A350-900 inbound from Atlanta. 4 years old, first flight September 2018. And Roy and Elske say that the king has turned 56 today. Shame on me for not knowing, but I was already going to hell, so I might as well forget this or not remember this anyway. So, there's a whole slew of airplanes forming a line to land. First up is going to be an EasyJet A319 inbound from Prague. Where it left an hour and 16 minutes ago. 17-year-old airplane, first flight March 2006. And after that another A319 from EasyJet inbound London Gatwick. Departed 44 minutes ago. And that is a 13-year-old airplane that had its first flight in September 2009. So 2 Airbus A319s back to back. Now the EasyJet livery matching the orange theme of the day, at least partly. Although the pilot did not royally apply the reverse thrust on that landing. Who knows? We may see the British Airways A319 do better. Oh wait, I think I might have missed an airplane. So there are 3 Airbuses in a row. This would be the one inbound from London Gatwick, and after that we would see a British Airways A319 inbound from London Heathrow. Okay. Vacating the runway over there, first exit. Oh, and I see that the firefighters are doing some testing of their vehicles probably. Hey Rick, goedemorgen, happy King's Day. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Exactly, Marissa, they're playing with their toys, and rightly so. Expensive equipment, hard-earned money went into it. Might as well have a little bit of fun with it. Water the grass a little. Even though we haven't had a shortage of precipitation yet, I think. When is the UK coronation, Paul? I know it's somewhere, isn't it somewhere in the beginning of May? Next week or so? Or is it over this weekend already? So next up are a couple of Embraer 190s. The first one is inbound from Geneva, the second one inbound from London City. The Geneva inbound airplane, 14 years old, first flight January 2009. The London City one is 7 years old, first flight November 2015. And after that, a 737 inbound from Paris Charles de Gaulle. And yes, Rick, I did survive King's Night. Didn't do anything, so hard to not survive that one. Did you go out, Rick? It was very cold. Red Cross even warned for the low temperatures. Apparently today it's even cooler than it was on New Year's Day. Okay, the coronation in the next couple of weeks. But surely the actual crowning, the actual ceremony will probably be on one day, right? Same here, Rick, same here. There were already people reserving a spot for the Vrijmarkten here and there to make sure that they would be able to sell their goods on a good location. Imagine having spent a cold night outside just to keep a spot for a market to sell your old stuff on. Hardcore, if you're willing to do that. That is dedication. Okay, the crowning will be on May 6th. Alright, so let's have a look. First up is a Boeing 737-800 from KLM inbound Paris Charles de Gaulle, where it left 53 minutes ago. The airplane 12 years old, first flight November 2010. So I was checking Flight Radar earlier this morning before going out. And if I recall correctly, today's Emirates A380 inbound from Dubai is going to arrive around 1:15 p.m. local time. So that is 2.5 hours from now or so in the Journey to the Future livery. So this is a special livery, although not a colorful one. Next up, KLM flight 1954 inbound from Zurich. This is an Embraer 190 that left Zurich an hour and 22 minutes ago. The airplane 9 years old. First flight was in January 2014. After that, a 777 inbound from Cape Town from KLM, which we also can see. Well, let's not fumble around. Although I'm very fond of this camera, it does seem to be losing focus quite easily if objects are still far out in the distance and not centered. As you guys saw earlier, regaining the focus on its own without a little help by going to the ground with the camera takes a little while. Hey, that's good news, Marissa. JetBlue starting their connections between New York and Boston and Amsterdam in August and September. Always nice to see a new operator flying to Amsterdam. Hey there, good morning, me Paul. Happy King's Day. Okay, another contender for wheelie of the day. Okay, so, hey Peter, goedemorgen, good morning, happy King's Day. Up next is KLM flight 1002, inbound London Heathrow, where it left 46 minutes ago, Boeing 737-800, 24 years old. First flight was in April 1999. There it is. Oh yeah, Matt, when you have 4 days in Amsterdam, definitely try and see if you can go to the Polderpaan Spotter's Place. Although cycling over here, oh, a few corrections. Apparently a bit more wind than it feels over here where I'm standing. Getting here from, if you are staying in the center of Amsterdam, takes a little navigating. It's doable, it's definitely reachable by bike. Although going to the Spottersplatz at the Buitenvelderbaan, where the McDonald's restaurant is easier to reach by bike when you depart from the center of Amsterdam. Jerry says that the pilot celebrated King's Night too much. Apparently, yeah. Or maybe just trying to scare the pilots a little, the passengers a little bit. Shaking them awake. Maybe it was just a precautionary measure to wake everybody up in time. Hey, wake up folks, we've arrived. Hey there Manly Travels, good morning. Happy King's Day. Welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. Okay, Photo for You reports that the connection sometimes falls away. Are you talking about the image, the footage, or the sound, or both? Let me have a look. Everything seems to be in order here. Do keep me notified if it keeps reoccurring. Up next, KLM flight 1142, inbound from Oslo. It is an Embraer 190 that departed from Oslo an hour and 23 minutes ago. The airplane is 9 years old. First flight was in October 2013. After that, we are going to see Delta Airlines flight 162, Airbus A388-300 inbound from Minneapolis. Already visible on the far left side of the screen. Okay, both. Looks good now. Wendy says no trouble with the stream here. Miss Wolf's also confirming stream all good here. Well, do let me know if you guys are experiencing any problems with video or audio. Never hurts to check on my end. So far everything seems to be a-okay. Well, I should definitely hope that there's no crackling under these wind conditions. But good to hear, Paul. Thanks. Charlie asks, have you ever flown a plane before in a flight simulator or real life? Well, I have flown as a passenger on jets, but not as a pilot, also not in a simulator. Although I did play flight simulator when I was a small boy, but that is really back when I was still a child. Although I am, of course, still a child mentally, but on the outside I look like a somewhat grown man in the meantime. Okay, so this is Delta Airlines Flight 162 A330-300, 15 years old, inbound from Minneapolis. After that, a Dreamliner from KLM. Alright, so next up is KLM Flight 719, inbound from Liberia. Boeing 7879 Dreamliner left Liberia 9 hours 37 minutes ago. This airplane 6 years old, first flight September 2016. So again, for those of you tuning in later, welcome to AMS Live. My name is Boyd. This is the Polderbaan, runway 36 left, 18 right, currently in use as 18 right for arrivals. Last time I checked, this was the only runway in use for arrivals. Wind is blowing from the southeast at the moment, I think varying between east and south, on average southeast. Not too hard, I think 7 or 8 knots or so. Temperature, while I was setting up, had already increased to 7 or so degrees centigrade, so that would equate to approximately 44-45 degrees Fahrenheit. Today's high is approximately 10 degrees C, so approximately 50 degrees F. Showing you the big picture. We have a somewhat milky sky. I do believe that there is an area of precipitation coming in slowly but surely from the west, over from the UK. It is expected to rain tomorrow. Don't know yet if it's only part of the day or the entire day. Not sure yet if I'm going to go out for streaming tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm also expecting my new microphone to arrive, and hopefully tonight or something, when they actually send it, they also give an ETA, so I'll know if I can accept it in the morning or in the afternoon. Might be going out to do some testing with the new mic, but that would be just testing the settings, what volume I need to set it to, if that differs from the Rode video mic that I'm using at the moment. Might do a live test, I don't know yet. There is a possibility that I might skip tomorrow for a live stream. That would be due to testing the new microphone, making sure that when I do go out with the new mic, everything works in order. Now, I've been confused so many times about what bird is what, is which, so I'm not going to say meerkoet or fut or whatever. I know it's not a duck. I know it's a pretty bird. Seems to be all by itself. Doing a little bit of washing and swimming. Much better multitaskers than I am. Oh, look at that. A wheelie contender in the narrow body subdivision. And a pretty one at that as well. Outrunning the heavies we've seen doing wheelies so far in this stream. Hey Tim, goedemorgen, fijne Koningsdag. Hope you're doing well, mate. And we are getting your rain, Yorkshire Biker says. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I've said it before, sharing is caring, but I'd really wish you guys didn't share that rain with us. You guys are too generous. Okay, photo for you says Fut. And absolutely right. They typically send a notification that it's somewhere between 8 and 9, 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Also depending on the carrier. Sometimes the PostNL is a bit more accurate, but then it's still a 4-hour time window, and often they still deliver outside of that window that they predicted. Oh, wait a minute. No, I forgot. I actually asked for it to be delivered to a pickup point. A supermarket nearby my home. So I just have to wait until the notification that it's been delivered over there, and then I can pick it up whenever I want. Meanwhile, this Azzurro is one of a kind ITA Airways. Inbound from Milan. Also the Italian tricolore on the engine. And also on the tail. Que bello. Okay, so what we saw just now, according to Lance, is a Fut or Grebe. Already quite far away in the meantime. Quite a skilled swimmer, that is. Now, looking at flight radar, we are awaiting the next airplane, and that is a 737-800 from Transavia, inbound from Ljubljana in Slovenia. 737-800, which departed 1 hour 37 minutes ago. The airplane 24 years old. First flight was in April 1999. In the meantime, almost ready to touch down. Okay, there is still a bit of discussion about what kind of bird it actually is. Is it a Fut? Peter says it is a Meerkoet. So there you go. Exactly the reason why I just referred to it as a bird, not being a duck. That is the only thing that I know. Sordoviorsi TV, probably totally mispronounced that, says Hola desde Sevilla, España. Hola and good morning and welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. How's the weather over there in Seville? And Marissa says that runway 06 is now also in use for arrivals. That is a bit of a bummer. Okay, still more discussion about whether the bird was a Fut or a Meerkoet. So coming in next are two Embraers. The first one is an Embraer 175 from KLM inbound Gothenburg, where it departed 1 hour and 11 minutes ago. 5 years old, first flight February 2018. After that we are going to see an E2 Embraer 195 inbound from Munich. Hey, good evening, Mad About Planes. All the way from Brisbane, Australia. What car park are you referring to, Mad About Planes? There is the P3 parking where you can go, but you need to pay to get in. And both official spotter places have parking lots where you can park and also do some spotting. Spotting from. So this is the E2 Embraer 195 inbound from Munich. 2-year-old airplane. First flight was in March 2021. Now I see that there is a 777 just flying over Zandvoort, but it does seem like it's going to 06. That's too bad, because it is 777 inbound from Curaçao, probably a 300. But it keeps going south, I see. Okay, Peter, I will see if I can still zoom in on it. It is a bit closer in the meantime. This is the most I can zoom in optically. And the Rahaki asks, how are you doing? I'm doing well, mate. Hope you are doing too. A bit disappointed that the 777 from Curaçao is now going to 06 and there's a 777 behind it inbound from Houston. I'm afraid it might do the same. Let me also go back to the ITA Airways that is almost touching down. Inbound from Rome, A320 Neo. Brand new. In fact, it had its first flight a month ago in March. So this one, as you guys can see, still shiny new. I have to say, the cockpit, the sunglasses cockpit look even works with the blue from ITA Airways. Although it is a bit more subtle. Good morning, Andy Apps. How are you today, my friend? Good to see you again. Now, I see that the 777 from you inbound from Houston is also being directed to 06. We'll have to make do with narrow bodies for the time being. First up is an A321 Neo from Aegean Air inbound from Athens. After that, an A320 Neo from Air Malta inbound from Malta. The A321 Neo inbound from Athens left there 3 hours 22 minutes ago. It is a 1-year-old plane that had its first flight in July 2021. Samuel already has to go, unfortunately. It's been a pleasure to have you around again, and hopefully I will see you soon. Take care, have a nice day, and undoubtedly I will see you again soon at one of the next upcoming streams. Take care, my friend. photo for you informing us that there is a Saudi 747 9 minutes out. That is probably a good candidate to land on this runway and not on runway 06, so that is very good news. Hey Takur, good morning, how are you? We're doing fine over here, welcome to the stream. Roadhog, good morning. Happy King's Day, my friend. Hope you're doing well. So inbound next, Air Malta, flight 394, a 4-year-old A320neo. And Khalil or Khalil, probably Khalil. Khalil Palestine says, loving the quality, watching from Palestine. Happy to see viewers from all over the world tune in. Welcome to the stream, Khalil. And thank you so much for your kind words. Happy to hear that the stream quality is also well over there. Ah, pronounced perfectly, Khalil says. Excellent. It's always a bit of a gamble. I do my best, but sometimes I totally mispronounce names. Right, so let me zoom out a little bit on flight radar. Are we going to see any more heavies? Yeah, the Jeddah inbound 747 is definitely coming over here. Most of the preceding inbound traffic, if not all, I think all, is narrow body. Hey there, Gabriella, and hi there, English Pinglish, good morning. And Josh says, good video in Alabama too. Happy to hear that, my friend. YouTube at least delivers. So, if I look at flight radar, this would be the Embraer 190 inbound from Vienna. And the Embraer taking the first exit over here. Hey Roy, thank you so much for that kind and generous donation, my friend. A little contribution to the Orange Tompoes Fund. Well, definitely will go to good use. And everybody who has so far been so kind to donate super chats, super stickers, super thanks. Tomorrow, hopefully, a microphone that will no longer crackle under more windy conditions. The Sennheiser MKE 600. Expected to arrive. Also ordered the Dead Cat. The wind jammer. The furry wind jammer that is made for it. So that is where all of your contributions have been going to. Hopefully I'll be as happy with that quality of that microphone as I am with the quality of my new tripod. That was also an improvement in orders of magnitude. Definitely has made following the airplanes much easier. So the Saudia 747 now looks to be number 3, maybe 4. First up is an Embraer 190 from KLM inbound from Frankfurt. It is 49 minutes underway, 12 years old, First flight was in October 2010. YouTube also checking in again. Good to see you. Checking in from Almelo. How's the weather over there in the east of the country? Similar conditions as over here? More sun, less sun? Hey, photo for you, thank you so much. I did already see a message pop up on my phone from the PayPal app. Thank you so much, my friend. Really, really appreciate it. We are awaiting the first queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Boeing 747-400 inbound from Saudia, Jeddah. Jeddah, it is inbound from Jeddah, it is from Saudia. Gabriella referring to a quote from Herman Vinkers, one of the well-known Dutch comedians, I think would be an appropriate term. Not stand-up comedy like, but yeah, we have a word for it, cabaretier. Not sure how that translates into English, if there's an English equivalent for that. Goedemorgen, Gotigorosko Studios. Gotigorosko Studios. Happy King's Day. So inbound next, EasyJet flight 27938 inbound Copenhagen A320neo. Departed from Copenhagen an hour and 2 minutes ago. The airplane 4 years old. First flight was in June 2018. There we go. Still a bit far out. Oh dear. Hey, and there is the 747 coming to the glide slope. I think that is much more interesting to follow. So I'm going to forgo the EasyJet and keep the focus on the Queen. First Queen of the day, Boeing 747 inbound Jeddah, Saudia cargo. It left Jeddah 5 hours 51 minutes ago. This is a 26-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in November 1996. Saudia cargo flight 933. Do I have time to go back to my laptop quickly? I think I do. Because I saw on my phone that Weasel Weaver just became a member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, Weasel Weaver, and thank you so much for your kind support. Photo for you says stand-up comedian. Yeah, I was having doubts about whether or not you would refer to Herman Vinkers as a stand-up comedian, there is, I think, a little difference between a real stand-up comedian and what we call cabaretier. I would say that a cabaretier also sings and also is more a storyteller. And a stand-up comedian also tells stories, but doesn't often sing that along. But maybe there is a lot of overlap. I think a stand-up comedian would be the most appropriate term, probably. Traffic light is red, the traffic light is green. In Almelo, there's always something to do. It doesn't rhyme when you translate it literally into English, but that is the quote. Hey there, Lisa, good morning. Happy King's Day and tuning in right on time for the Queen? Absolutely. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're liking this content so far, do consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. Makes it easier for you to get notified when I go live in the future. Now there is an Embraer 190 following it. I'm also going to forgo the landing of that. Just keep following the 747 a little bit longer. Spoilers have already gone down. The flaps are probably going to rise any time now. For those of you unfamiliar with the layout of Schiphol Airport, this is the Polderbaan, runway 18 right, 36 left. The newest addition and also the furthest out from the main platform area. Cargo area of Schiphol Airport is on both sides of runway 0624. So that's the south part of the main platform area. From over here, these airplanes first have to taxi for 5 minutes or so to even reach the outskirts of the main platform area. Then they have to go from the north side to the south side. So all in all, these airplanes still have a 15-minute taxi, typically, sometimes even more, sometimes a bit less, also depending on how quickly the pilot is taxiing. But it is a significant taxi from over here. Don't think there are many other airports that have runways so far out from the main platform area. Hey there, goedemorgen Ralf. Just tuning in time for the Saudia Cargo Queen. Looking at Queen's Land on King's Day. Photo for you says that there's another Silkway, another 747 underway from Silkway. Expected to arrive in an hour and 30 minutes from now. Now, if I recall correctly, the A380 from Emirates is also expected to arrive around then. I think 15 minutes later or so. Now, it is my intention to stick around for the Emirates A380. Even if 06 continues to stay open for arrivals, my expectation is, / hope, but also my a careful expectation that it is going to land on this runway. So yeah, if the Silkway 747 will also be landing over here, I will at least stick around for it to witness it. And the A380 is expected in 1 hour and 50 minutes. So yeah, maybe running a bit later than originally was planned, I think. Somewhere between 1:15 and 1:30. Hey, Manly Travel says Atlas Air 747 in 24 minutes. Where is it originating from? If it's coming from the United States or Canada or something, then it will be arriving from the west. That will almost certainly, well, no, that's we also saw that with a couple of triples just now, that they also were diverted to land on 06. Normally speaking, you would say that they would be coming this way. Now, the moment I look at Flight Radar and I see that most traffic inbound is now being directed to runway 06. Okay, and it is inbound from Miami. Well, it also depends on if the runway is going to stay open for all that time. Wind is blowing from the southeast, not too hard. So yeah, there is a bit of headwind and mostly crosswind for runway 06. So both Polderbaan and Kaagbaan are viable options with the prevailing wind. Let's have a look on the baangebruik app. 09 for outbound, 06 and 18 right for inbound still. Okay. So we are in a bit of a lull. There is an Embraer 175 inbound from Bologna, almost on the glide slope, incoming from the right. I'm looking visually to see if I can see it already so I can point the camera to it, but I don't see it. I don't have it visually yet. Embraer 175 inbound from Bologna, 5 years old, first flight January 2018. Left Bologna 1 hour and 40 minutes ago. Hey there, Kenyan. Checking in from Nairobi. Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. How is life over there in Kenya? Probably a bit warmer than over here. Is there a time difference with Kenya and continental Europe? It's 11:30 a.m. over here. And I see that a couple of Embraer 175s inbound from the United Kingdom are also being directed to 06. So the Embraer inbound from Bologna for now is the only one in the immediate vicinity. I see that there's an Embraer 19. Oh, there are 2 Embraers coming in from Aberdeen and Stavanger that are flying off the coast of North Holland, near the island of Texel, just a little below. Most likely they will be coming this way. Let's have a look in the east. Embraer 190 Hanover. Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see. So the Cargolux 747 inbound from Nairobi has an ETA of 12:30. So that is even before the... Yeah, that's before the A380. So hopefully by then the Polderbaan will be the only runway in use again. For arrivals, that is. Let's see one of those birds again hovering. There it is. So my hands are off the camera, off the tripod. Everything is completely still. You can see these birds can hover like helicopters. Really still. Now where did it go? Think Yeah, the camera also has a bit difficulty keeping the focus. So I would have to go to manual focus and then keep it set to infinity or something like that. Then have to go to autofocus again when following airplanes, because you need to adjust the focus as the airplane comes closer by. So it's easier for now to keep the focus on auto. And we have another contender for the wheelie of the day. Two serious contenders in the narrow body range, no less. Maybe word has gotten out under KLM pilots that there is this one guy live streaming who ranks the landings and has started the competition for wheelie of the day. Who knows? So, let's see, there is a Dreamliner from TUI fly inbound from Bonaire, just off the coast of Zandvoort. I am afraid that it's not going to make a left-hand turn and come this way. Oh dear, now I've triggered a discussion about, is it the Netherlands or Holland? I think when it comes to the provinces of North Holland and South Holland, you can also refer to those as Holland. Yeah, and the Dreamliner from TUI also being directed to 06, unfortunately. Okay, well. It's also a 777 inbound from Panama City. I'm afraid that it might also be heading to 06. I'm also looking around to see if there's a runway check or anything going on. There is a vehicle with lights on the far end of the other side of the runway. Okay, so when is Zwanenburgbaan officially going to reopen? Because they were planning on reopening it in the beginning of May. Now Photo For You says that it's also probably going to stay closed or only a little bit of traffic on May 13th until the 21st. Did Schiphol already officially announce when they were going to reopen the runway? Okay, and the Panama City triple is also turning to the right, going to runway 06. Okay, after May 21st. So that would mean that parallel landings and departures are still just under a month away at the soonest. Hey Marissa, it's been a pleasure having you around again. See you soon, enjoy the rest of King's Day, and we'll meet again. So there are two Embraers now coming this way. The first one is an Embraer 190. Both are from KLM. The first one is an Embraer 190 inbound from... Oh no, it says KL, but it is German Airways, my bad. German Airways flying under KL1198, flight KL1198. Embraer 190 long range. Left Stavanger an hour and 2 minutes ago. 17-year-old airplane. First flight January 2006. After that we will see KLM flight 1442 inbound from Aberdeen. Embraer 175, 7 years old, first flight March 2016. What will come next? Time will tell. Okay, in the meantime, I do see that one of the bird controllers was on the move. Already passed. There it is. Probably doing a quick check of the runway before the two Embraers are arriving. Now the Kestrel Lance was referring to, as it's called, I don't see it anymore. Looking around. Unfortunately, I don't see it. Oh wait, I think I might. Yeah, I think I do. As I don't see the Embraer, the first of the two Embraers yet. Let me see if I can go back to it again. Oh dear, yeah. It's a small subject. It's far away. It's moving every now and then. Really hard to focus on it. First, let me get a visual on it, but probably saw something in the grass and dived for it. Oh wait, I think it's almost like hunting. Now, I did see it visually, but do I see it on my 3-inch camera screen? Not anymore. In the meantime, it also has moved away. Alright then, well, back to the airplanes then, because I do see the landing lights of the first Embraer. And there it is. So this is the Embraer 190 inbound from Stavanger. On the left is the Embraer 175 inbound from Aberdeen. There are 3 more planes arriving from the east. Another Embraer 190, an A320neo, and another Embraer 175. It's a shame that all the heavies that are inbound from the west are now being directed to 06. Always a bit of a risk when there isn't a lot of wind, or the direction is not pronounced from the south or from the west. So this Embraer 175 inbound from Aberdeen, 7 years old, had a nose job or put a little too much sunscreen on the nose, either one of the two. Now this is more like a KLM landing. Keeping up the speed. Vacating later. Even though there's no immediate airplane behind it, there are 3 inbound from the east I saw just now. And Lance apparently knows a thing or two about birds, because he says he can also hear a skylark. Well, whether or not you best stick with the planes is debatable, but I know that that is definitely something that is best for me to do. Paul asks when the Silkway is coming in. If I recall correctly, I think someone mentioned 12:30 local time, 12:30 p.m. And yeah, Rick, there are a couple of airplanes that apparently have had nose jobs recently. I did also see one with a blue nose. There was also one with a white nose just now. We're waiting for the one with an orange nose for the occasion. Well, Mandy Travels, I think it's still a bit too early to call the Atlas 747 coming to the Polderbaan, unless you've heard something specifically on the ATC. Looking at how it's flying right now, it might still take a right-hand turn and be directed to the Kaagbaan. We'll know in a few minutes. First up is going to be a KLM Embraer 190, flight 1904, inbound from Hanover, where it left 37 minutes ago. Short flight, so 13 years old, first flight July 2009, and after that we are going to see an A320neo from EasyJet that is inbound from Pisa in Italia, I should say. Keep mispronouncing the words today. Inbound Pisa, left there an hour and 49 minutes ago. That is a neo that is 3 years old. First flight was in September 2019. First up, the Embraer 190 inbound from Hanover. Let me see if I can zoom in on it while keeping the focus. Where is it? There we go. But that is not in focus. Going to the ground, going back up again. That is better. The bird controller setting off some explosives in the distance. You might have heard that just now. And the Neo on the far left, behind it in the background. Looks like there's an Embraer 175 from inbound from Nuremberg. Nuremberg coming in as number 3. The Embraer 190 inbound from London City will probably be number 4. Okay, interesting combination. Not going too quickly, but also not taking the first exit. In the meantime, there is a bit more folk over here, not behind me, but further out there are some more people. Somebody sitting on a bench over here in the foreground, a few pedestrians. And also cyclists. Bird controller parked over there. where it sets some fireworks off from. Okay, now it's going to regain focus on its own. Let me see if pressing. Okay, so that is a bit better. Pressing on my screen on the airplane to hopefully get the camera to focus on it also doesn't work. So I really need to go down to the ground, focus on it, then go back up quickly. Hey Sam, goedemorgen. Happy King's Day to you too, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hey Frank, goedemorgen, good morning. Good news from Manly Travels. The 747 is now for sure going to the Polderbaan. That is very good to learn. Oh yeah, I see it now as well. And it's also being followed by a 777-200 that is also going to the Polderbaan. Will that mean that maybe 06 has closed now? Let me have a look on the runway usage app. Well, it says it's still open, but maybe it is behind a few minutes. In the meantime, Colin B, thank you so much for your super sticker and your kind donation. I will have to look at the picture when I get back home. A thumbs up hand gesture with the word stop. As you can see, the program I'm using for live streaming, Ecamm Live, only shows the description. Which makes it exciting for me to look back home to see what the stickers actually look like. Here, textbook KLM landing. Keeping up the speed. Don't think it even used reversers on the landing. And exactly photo for you, I was looking at the actual picture on Flight Radar 2 and nothing seems to be lining up for the Kaagbaan, so I wouldn't be surprised that in a few minutes from now the Baangebruik en Luchtverkeersleiding Nederland apps and websites probably confirm that 06 is closed again, meaning all inbound traffic is coming this way. Next up, KLM Flight 988. Embraer 190 inbound London City, left there 38 minutes ago. The airplane 11 years old and had its first flight in January 2012. Now, there we go. But what I am going to do is forgo its landing. Way too far to the left. Here we go. Second Queen. Atlas Air, Boeing 747-400 freighter. Inbound from Miami, Florida, where it departed 8 hours and 7 minutes ago. This airplane, also 26 years old, also from 1996. Its first flight was in December 1996. Second Queen of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and behind it is going to be a 777-200, just visible to the left and a little above the 747. Atlas Air, second Queen of the day. We're also awaiting for the King of the Aviation, Emirates A380, inbound from Dubai, expected in 1.5 hours or so. few birds in the foreground. Nice landing, but not as noisy as I would have liked. Still good sound, absolutely. And next up, I will turn around the camera in a minute, KLM flight 696. KLM Dreamliner 777 inbound from Toronto. As a local group of mopeds is passing by on the cycling path. So we are looking... Come on. We are looking at a 777-200 ER inbound from Toronto. This airplane is 17 years old. Had its first flight in March 2006. We have another contender for the Wheelie of the Day competition. I think we might have a new front runner. Maybe in general, but at least in the heavy department. Angelita Messemaker asks if I'm still around for the A380, and I do intend to stick around for it. So rest assured, if the A380 is landing on this runway, we are sticking around for it. Next up, a Transavia 737-800, 23 years old, first flight in May 1999, inbound from Naples in Italia. 2 hours and 21 minutes of flight, about to touchdown. Hey there, Koenie, goedemiddag. Happy King's Day, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hey there, Rachel London. Good morning. Happy King's Day to you too. Hope you're doing well. Next up, KLM flight 1060, Embraer 175 inbound from Cardiff. Departed 53 minutes ago. The airplane 6 years old. First flight January 2017. After this, we are going to see Delta Airlines Flight 136. That is an Airbus A330-300 inbound from Detroit. Just about visible in the distance. Let me see if I can... Can I capture them both in one shot? Probably if I zoom out a little. Yeah, oh yeah. It was already somewhat visible. You guys can probably see way better than I can on my little 3-inch screen, where the sun is also shining on somewhat, or at least reflection from the clouds. Three in one even, photo for you says. Well, I do see the third one now visually, but didn't see it on my camera screen. But there you go. Looking back at home, I often see more than when I did standing behind the camera at the time. Always good to watch everything back at home on a full screen. I'd imagine that people watching on TV via the YouTube app see even more than you can from a regular laptop screen. Well, in the meantime, I did hear a little bang. Probably the bird controller chasing away birds. On the other side of the runway, didn't see the vehicle. Sounded like it was far away. So this is Delta Airlines Flight 136, Airbus A330-300 inbound from Detroit. Michigan, isn't it? Detroit, Michigan. So it left from Detroit 7 hours 35 minutes ago. The airplane that you are looking at is 16 years old. It had its first flight in October 2006. Well, that was definitely the best sounding landing so far in my book, standing over here. Most of the landings up to now have been somewhat quiet. I think the timing of the reverse thrust application by the pilots made for a loud arrival when they passed by me. So Firas Mama, good day to you. Welcome to the stream. Good afternoon it is in the meantime over here. Hope you're doing well on this King's Day that is a bit chilly. Particularly now that the sun is hiding a bit more behind milky sky and some high clouds. Inbound next, Pegasus Air, flight 1251, inbound Istanbul, Turkey. Left there 3 hours 21 minutes ago. A321neo that is brand new and had its first flight in November last year. So less than 6 months old. After that, we are going to see KLM flight 604, KLM Dreamliner inbound from LAX. Come on, down. There you go. Seemed that the Airbus didn't feel like landing. Wanted to fly a bit further. Quickly back to the action. This is KLM flight 604 inbound LAX, where it left 9 hours 54 minutes ago. The airplane, 3 years old, Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. First flight was in January of 2020. Roy Fabello, goedemiddag, asking until when am I going to be live? Well, at least until after the A380 has arrived. And was there a 747 that would be preceding it or just after it? I think it was just before it, wasn't it? I am intending to stick around at least for the A380. First up, KLM flight 1008 inbound London Heathrow. Left there 38 minutes ago. Boeing 737-800, 14 years old. First flight was May 2008. Next up, two Embraer 190s, both from KLM. The first one inbound from Berlin, the second one inbound from Leeds, is that? Yeah, Leeds. So the first one to arrive from Berlin, left an hour and 1 minute ago, 13 years old, first flight June 2009. And Rick asks, will we also have a Liberation Day stream as well? That all depends on what day of the week that is going to be. I know it's the 5th, but is that on a Friday? Thursday? Or Saturday? Hey, Steven from Aeolus Capital. Good day to you. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well on this King's Day. Fijne Koningsdag. Okay. The 5th of May is on a Friday. That is already a regular day for me to go live if nothing comes up in the meantime. So of course it's weather dependent. If it's going to pour all day, maybe not, but otherwise probably I will go out on the 5th of May as well. Manly Travels, it's been a pleasure to have you on the stream again. Hope you have a nice day. We'll probably see each other again soon. And bye for now. Two more Embraer 190s inbound. The first one in the Sky Team livery. Inbound leads left there 44 minutes ago. This airplane 11 years old, first flight April 2012. Hey Inabe, happy King's Day to you and welcome back. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. How's life over there in Germany? So this Embraer vacating at the first exit. There is another Embraer 190 inbound, so that's 3 consecutive Embraer 190s. This one inbound from Helsinki, Finland, flight 11-166. Departed 2 hours and 9 minutes ago from Helsinki. The airplane 14 years old. First flight was in October 2008. Ina, I'm doing well. Made sure that I bought some tompoes pastries before going out to stream, so they are waiting for me in the fridge. We'll go visit an uncle and aunt later today to have to grab a cup of coffee with them, and I'll bring these pastries along to celebrate the King's 56th birthday. Now I say that as if I knew that, but people in the stream had to inform me that the king today turned 56. I didn't know that myself, but it is his actual birthday today. That is a fact. My hands are starting to get a little cold at the moment, but operating the camera, particularly the rubber band, is much easier to do without gloves than with gloves on. So I will keep them barehanded for now. And Rick asking, we have a king? Well, there is a king incoming from Dubai, expected in just over an hour. Hey there, Betty. Good day to you. Speaking for myself, I'm doing well. Happy to be out here again on this still quiet day. We could do with a little more sunshine, but can't have it all. We're waiting for the next traffic to arrive. Looks like it's going to be an A330 from Delta inbound from Minneapolis. That is now flying just off the coast, still flying east, not bending off to the south, so I think 06 is still closed for arrivals, and this is still the only runway open for arrivals. There's another A330 behind it inbound from Seattle, so 2 A330-300s from Delta back to back, although there is also a smaller jet flying in from Glasgow, a private jet, but I think that might go to a different runway. It's already flying more southerly than the 2 A330s. Now, looking to the east, there's also a 777 inbound from Shanghai. And pinching out further, where is the king? Is it already over Germany? Oh, it's still over the Czech Republic. Okay. What's its ETA? 1:20, so an hour and 10 minutes or so from now. Okay, well, by then I will have been streaming for 4 hours or so. Let me see. 2 hours and 10 minutes at the moment, 1 hour and 10 minutes. That's almost 3.5 hours. So I think, unless there's something really exciting directly following the A380, that I'm going to stick around for the A380 and perhaps call it a day after that. Will of course depend on what traffic is in the vicinity in the meantime. Still a lot of traffic inbound for Schiphol. If I look at flight radar and zoom out a little, don't see it yet, but on flight radar it is now turning final. Delta Airlines flight 164, the first of the two A330-300s that is coming in from the United States. The first one inbound from Minneapolis, where it left 7 hours and 45 minutes ago. This first A330 is 16 years old and had its first flight in April 2007. Seems that Delta Airlines flight 144, the second of the two A330s, is going to be number 2, inbound from Seattle. Left there 8 hours and 51 minutes ago. That is a 20-year-old airplane that had its first flight in January 2003. So while they are still a bit out, let me also grab a sip of water in the meantime. Okay, the first Airbus A330 now visible in the distance visually. Let me see. Again, too far to the left. There it is. Have it in sight and also on camera. Rick referring to that one fast food chain where they also serve Big King double XLs. I last year, for the first time in forever, have been to said chain of fast food joints, because I did see all their advertisements for veggie burgers, so I was curious to see how they were. And I have to say, the one from that particular chain I liked a lot. They were really good. The one from the one with the golden arches, not so much. Also decent, but I have to say, when given the choice, I would go with the other one where they serve the double XL Kings. And definitely they are definitely good. They are definitely tasty. So first up, two Delta A330-300s. One from Minneapolis, one from Seattle. Seems that there are two A320s coming after that. One from EasyJet and one from Vueling. And another wheelie contender. Initially I thought it was going to lower the... I thought the pilot was going to lower the nose wheel in right away, but they did seem to stop midway to the ground. So that was the one inbound from Minneapolis. The next one is going to be inbound from Seattle. The 777 inbound from Shanghai is also coming in from the east. Don't have it visually yet inside. Looking for the second A330. There it is. Now this is the first time I am out with my phone and also having split screen on the phone. So the top half of my phone screen now has flight radar open and the bottom half has the live chat open. I have to say that makes a tremendous difference, not having to go back and forth between apps. As I already said earlier in the stream, last Monday I was a little late with noticing that the private jet of Max Verstappen was arriving when people in the chat were already mentioning it. And I had flight radar open at the time and only saw it later, coincidentally, because my eye was drawn to that odd black and orange airplane. Now having both apps open on eye height, I think I should say. Being able to see and the camera and flight radar and the chat all in one field of view makes it much easier to keep up with everything everybody is saying in the chat. And another plane coming in from, that must be the 777 on the far left, making its way to the glide slope. Has to fall in line between two A320s that are following this A330 first. Not the longest of wheelies, but definitely not the shortest either. So inbound next, two A320s. The first one inbound from London Gatwick. British Airways, operated by BA Euroflyer. Left London 37 minutes ago. The A320-200 that we are about to see, 20 years old. First flight was in May 2002. And behind it, doesn't seem to be in focus. Still not perfect. Maybe if I zoom in a bit, yeah, that's better. Okay, so in the top left corner you can also see the second A320 that is from Vueling, inbound Barcelona, 8 years old, and departed from Barcelona an hour and 51 minutes ago. After that, number 3 is going to be a 777 inbound from Shanghai. Can we see that as well? Hard for me to see on my little screen. Oh yeah, there it is. I have to look lower instead of higher. Jean-Yves asks what the stupid seagull is doing. That is called photobombing. Getting in the picture. Unwantedly. Now, dare I say it out loud, but it seems that the sun is getting out from behind the clouds a bit more. So next up is the Vueling A320 inbound from Barcelona. And there are 4 planes on their way to the glide slope to fall in line behind the 777 inbound from Shanghai. Paul just visited Bart. Did you say hi to him for me? Okay, next up, 777 time. China Southern Cargo Flight 495 inbound from Shanghai, where it left 11 hours 24 minutes ago. This airplane, 7 years old, had its first flight in June 2015. Well, in the beginning of the chat, Bart said, tot straks, see you later. I haven't seen him pass me by. Is he standing along the Polderbaan or at a different runway? Just curious. I would have imagined that if he passed me by, he would have dropped by and say hi in person. Flaps are a little dirty, at least the innermost. Now, interestingly enough, already vacating over here at the first exit. Okay, so there is quite a lineup looking at flight radar already. Next up is going to be an EasyJet Airbus A320neo inbound from Edinburgh, where it left an hour and 2 minutes ago. This airplane, 4 years old, had its first flight in August 2018. Ah, he says hello. Excellent. But where is he located? Oh, at the Buitenveldert. From the P3 parking lot or alongside the runway itself. Well, do say hi to him from me back, if you haven't done so already. Really nice fella, always in for a chat, as am I. Now, flight radar is showing a lot of back-to-back traffic at the moment, so they all vacate the runway in time. You guys can already see the next two planes are already visible, really tightly behind each other. Okay, in the parking lot P3. I've been thinking a couple of times about doing a live stream from over there, but I carry a lot of stuff with me, so... And it's a very expensive parking place if you want to go there and pay for entering with your car. It is nice and high up, definitely. Also, if the weather is not too good, good place to be filming from. Okay, so Transavia 737 vacating over here, making room for the next 777 that is on short final. KLM flight 744 inbound Lima left there 11 hours and 33 minutes ago. This is a 777-200 ER, 18 years old. Had its first flight in November 2004. Yeah, Paul, I think that's probably the P3 parking lot over there where you can you have a good overview over the main platform area, runway 0927 and also 18 left, 36 right, Buitenveld, Aalsmeerbaan. Hey there Nelly, good afternoon, happy King's Day to you, good to see you again. Next up is going to be a KLM flight from inbound from Milan, where it left 1.5 hours ago. It is a Boeing 737-700, the baby 737. It is 13 years old. First flight of this airplane was in November 2009. Now you can see that the sun is illuminating the airplane. Looking around me, I will show you guys in a minute. The milkiness doesn't seem to get less. So it was only an occasional ray of sunshine earlier. It is going to stay a dry day over here in the Netherlands, but there is an area of precipitation coming in from the west, I think overnight, and they are saying that it's going to rain tomorrow. Don't know if it's only in part of the day, either the morning or the afternoon, or if it's going to be the entire day. No precipitation in the weather forecast for today though. But you can see the sky is milky. It doesn't seem to be getting less milky as we speak. This is to the south. Nicely reflection of the sun in that solar collector. Solar panel, a bit more blue over to the west towards the coast. That's typical. Always see cloud formation a little bit more land inward. Okay, well Betty, it's been a pleasure to have you around again. Have a nice day, and hopefully I will see you again. We will see you again soon. And enjoy the rest of the day for now. KLM Embraer 175 arriving from Stuttgart. Let me have a look. Yeah, that was Stuttgart. So next up is going to be another Vueling Airbus A320, this one inbound from Alicante, where it departed 2 hours and 18 minutes ago. This airplane is 15 years old and had its first flight in August 2007. Let me zoom out a little bit. There's another 777 inbound, number 3, inbound from Atlanta. What else is there on approach? A lot of airplanes. For both 06, which has also reopened again. Photo for you says that the A380 is 45 minutes out at the moment. So yeah, definitely not a quiet day on this King's Day over here at the Polderbaan. Despite now 2 runways open for arrivals, there is a lot inbound from both left and right, or west and east I should say. So until the arrival of the A380, I am not expecting any lulls anymore. Come to think of it, I don't think we even had any extended moments where there was no traffic inbound. Maybe 1 or 2, but that was only a couple of minutes. Now, for all you duck enthusiasts, I have bad news. The entire day, not a single quack. Maybe the ducks are hungover, are still chilling somewhere in the grass further out, but maybe they went and had Mexican food yesterday, and maybe they ate too much guacamole. Guacamole, I should say. And are feeling a little bit under the weather. EasyJet A320neo, quiet as can be. Vacating at the first exit. I think it might have been Michael Jackson. I think it might have been. So this what we are looking at is KLM flight 622. You guys can see by the size of its engines, it is a 777. It is a 777-300ER no less. Inbound from Atlanta, Georgia, where it left 7 hours and 52 minutes ago. This airplane, 7 years old, had its first flight in February of 2016. Okay, take out your stopwatches and tape measure because we have another wheelie contender. Also a very quiet landing, I have to say. I think the Queens and that one A330 from Delta that applied the reverse thrust right in front of us have been the loudest so far. They really seem to be doing their best to keep the landings quiet. Very good initiative from Martin Irving. Thought I would say hi, been watching quite a while but never commented. Well, there are a lot of lurkers out there, also a lot of viewers who are watching regularly but haven't subscribed to the channel. It's all good, but do feel welcome to enter in the chat. The people over here are friendly, they don't bite, can handle a good joke. So do feel free to mingle and chat with all the other watchers, the frequent flyers over here at AMS Live. Also, if you have any questions, do shout them out in the chat. I have Flight Radar and the chat open simultaneously right now. Makes a world of difference. Can see everything that's going on without having to switch back and forth. James 1 says, hello AMS Live, and I say hello to you, James 1. Happy King's Day. All hail the King. Next up, LOT flight 263, inbound from Warsaw. It is an Embraer 190, left there an hour and 41 minutes ago. This airplane we are awaiting is 12 years old, had its first flight in January 2011. After that, another Embraer 190 inbound, KLM flight 1766. KLM inbound from Frankfurt, where it left 46 minutes ago, and that is a 5-year-old airplane, had its first flight in February 2018. In the meantime, I see that Roy was so kind to gift 5 AMS Live memberships. Thank you so much for that kind gestures, Roy, and welcome to all new members to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Today with the KLM logo in orange, so make use of it in the chat while it is only a limited version. Now, Sordo WRC TV, I don't speak a lot of Spanish, so unfortunately that first line I didn't understand. And Michael Jackson says my flight radar is down. Anyone else? Well, at the moment I am still having moving images over here on my phone. Did have a little hiccup yesterday morning when I was checking. And I saw a tweet from Flight Radar itself that apparently they had an electricity outage, I think in Sweden or something, and that affected a lot of people. So they had been out for an hour or so. At the moment, come to think of it, it does seem to have frozen a little bit, because that Embraer from inbound from Frankfurt is still hovering and has just landed. So I might be having a similar problem at the moment with Flight Radar. Ah, thank you guys for the translations. Yeah, so I seem to be having an issue with Flight Radar at the moment myself as well. Only thing that I see on my split screen now is that KLM Embraer that just landed, and it's frozen just over the North Sea Canal. Hopefully the connection will go back to normal again in a few moments. Ah, well, you're very welcome, Sordo WRC TV. It's my pleasure. I'm happy to have you over here. Do feel free to interact with all the other people in the chat. Okay, so everybody seems to be having trouble with Flight Radar at the moment. That is a pity. Let me see if, because last time we had an issue with Flight Radar, I also and my shoe got untied, so let me do that first. I think I also have a radar box also on my phone, so let me see if that still works, so that at least I can give some information. Okay, that seems to be working. Now, don't have a lot of background information as I don't have a subscription on that. Let me see, then I want to... Okay, server not responding. So for the time being, let me shut down Flight Radar then. Now I also want... So I want a split screen with the chat and with radar box then. Okay. Now this plane has already landed, so what is up in the distance? Okay, so if radar box is working properly, where is it? This should be Icelandair flight 500 inbound from Reykjavik, where it departed 2 hours and 51 minutes ago. Looks like the 767-300. Can you guys let me know in the chat if Flight Radar works again? Because then I'll switch back to Flight Radar. Seems that it takes a little getting to know radar box. Hey there, Ian Dunn. Good morning to you. Still morning over there. 15 minutes or so? Are you tuning in from the UK? Okay, so according to radar box, let me see, why doesn't it, why am I not able to click on it? Okay, so inbound next looks like EasyJet inbound from Dubrovnik. Okay, flight radar is on the air again. In that case, let me switch back to that. Easier to work with for me, more familiar. Okay, close, open flight radar again. Alright, well my flight radar screen is still blank and it seems to be loading, but it doesn't show any air traffic at the moment. Oh yeah, it's back. Okay, happy to see that. Okay, apply the split screen. Split screen, live chat below. Alright, flight radar back in the air. Let me first zoom in on this airplane. EasyJet Airbus, obviously. As of the following plane after it, hopefully I'll be able to give you all the background details once again. Alright, Neo continuing on the runway. We're going to take the first exit. Right, so next up is a Boeing 737-900 from KLM, inbound from Rome. Oh, accidentally opened a photo in the browser, blocking the view on the live chat. So KLM flight 1598, Boeing 737-900, inbound from Rome, where it left 2 hours 6 minutes ago. This airplane, 21 years old. First flight was in October 2001. Hey Marissa, are you back again? Good to see you again. And Tim asks, are you waiting for the A380? I definitely am. And Marissa updating us that the A380 is 34 minutes out. Finally, another airplane that applies the reverse thrust right in front of us. I like some noisy landings, personally. So happy that they did that. Next up is a TUI flight inbound from Kos in Greece. Boeing 737 MAX 8, 4 years old. First flight of this airplane. We're about to see January 2019. Now, further out, we see an A320 from Aer Lingus, an A321 from Turkish, or maybe it's Anadolu Jet. Oh, it's completely blank, but it is, according to flight radar, operated by Anadolu Jet. Let's see, there's also an A330 inbound from Istanbul coming this way. What else is there to see? Okay, most of the inbound traffic now seems to be arriving from the east of the country. Do already see another Queen entering Dutch airspace. So if it comes to this runway, it would be the third Queen of the stream. We're also awaiting that other king that we celebrate today. The Journey to the Future liveried Emirates A380 inbound from Dubai, which Marissa said just now is expected in 34 minutes or so. Before then, we will hopefully see the third Queen of the Skies. That is now in Dutch airspace over on the east side of the country. Okay, so zooming back into what is currently going on flight radar, we are awaiting the arrival of Aer Lingus flight 604 inbound from Dublin, Ireland, where it departed an hour ago. Seems a bit of a stretch. Seems like it's more further out, at least intuitively I would say, but maybe it's just an hour-long flight. According to flight radar, it left an hour ago. The airplane that we are about to see is 18 years old and had its first flight in September 2004. Now, believe it or not, people, but it seems that the sun is coming out more. Really happy about that. If I quickly show you, the sun is now a bit more in the south. Quite high up already, but look at the sky in the south, similar to what it was in the west. It's opening up. How about that? Also a bit warmer on the hands now. They don't feel that cold anymore. All it took was a little time. And the Aer Lingus Airbus vacating the runway over here where the first exit is. Next up, the Anadolu Jet A321 inbound from Istanbul, 11 years old, first flight February 2012, departed from Istanbul 3 hours and 17 minutes ago. Says on flight radar that it is operated by Anadolu Jet, but the livery picture shows a white airplane. No markings on it whatsoever. To me it seems that the windmills in the background have started spinning less quickly. Also don't feel a lot of wind anymore at the moment. So the wind might have even subsided a little over the morning compared to the beginning of the stream. Who knows, spring might after all arrive in the Netherlands at some point. Plain Jane plane, Marissa says, as Sam says, looks like a leased jet from Smartlinks. How would you know? Because the airplane has no markings. Does Smartlinks only have white airplanes? And it does look a little like a ghost plane, Yorkshire Biker. Marius checking in, watching the stream from TV. Nice and big picture probably. Well, welcome to you all. We are waiting for the Emirates A380. Before then, we will also see a queen that is now also in the country and hopefully will come this way. The next airplane to arrive first is going to be Turkish flight 1957. It is an A330-300 inbound from Istanbul. And surprise, surprise, this one was a bit quicker to fly from Istanbul to over here. The other airplane 3 hours and 15 minutes or so. This one 2 hours and 59 minutes. Maybe they followed a more straight route to Amsterdam. This Airbus A330-300 is 8 years old and had its first flight in March 2015. Meanwhile, FT Project says good evening from the Philippines. Well, good evening to you too. Happy King's Day, even though you probably don't celebrate that over there in the Philippines. It is the birthday of our king, King Willem Alexander, who I was told by viewers earlier in the live chat turned 56 today. Hence the thumbnail has an orange theme, as does the ticker, and the KLM logo today for the occasion in orange instead of the KLM blue. Lovely to see so many people interacting in the chat, and those of you who are watching and haven't responded yet, don't be a lurker, don't be shy. People over here won't bite you if you interact with them in the chat. The more the merrier. Mike is soon going to go to the Philippines, so how about that? Okay, so Sam says another queen in approximately 9 minutes. And don't apologize, do mention everything. I'd much rather have 10 people saying the same than everybody assuming that everybody knows it and not saying anything. First up, KLM flight 1856. It is an Embraer 190 inbound from Düsseldorf, so only a short flight. It left 28 minutes ago, and the airplane we're about to see 13 years old. First flight February 2010. And Michael Jackson says King in 30 minutes, so the countdown has begun, ladies and gentlemen. Scorecard so far for today: 2 queens, several wheelies, more queens underway. The king is also coming. So it should be a very nice stream. It has already been a very nice stream. It's only going to get better. Let me rephrase that. Now let me also try to see if I can take a sip of water in the meantime. Okay. And the KLM Embraer vacating the runway from the first exit. Quickly back to the north with the camera because the next airplane already getting closer by. It is a KLM Boeing 737 that is inbound from Copenhagen. 737-900. She's 19 years old. First flight was in April 2004 and this one left Copenhagen 58 minutes ago. So the pilot of the 737 decided to first continue on the runway before taking a later exit. That's okay. There's no traffic immediately behind it, although we do see the next two planes already in the distance, at least visually. Hopefully I can also show you on camera. First one at least is already close by. It is KLM flight 1344. It is once again a city hopper Embraer 190. This one 11 years old. First flight January 2012 and inbound from Billund. Okay, and now people are saying in the chat that there are two queens coming. At least Queen specifically mentions that. So that would mean that the scorecard will end with 4 queens, 1 king, and immeasurable fun. Do we have another wheelie contender? Today the Embraers have been added. That was a decent wheelie still. Not the longest of the day stream, but still definitely above average. The pilots of the Embraers today have definitely been delivering on wheelies. More than average, I would say. Hey Mike, thank you so much for your compliment. Nice to hear that you think that this is the best Schiphol stream with great great quality camera and sounds and also good info. Well, you don't want to see the streams that were shot under windy conditions because the crackling with the current mic is still a bit distracting. I said it before, yesterday I posted an update. I have bought a Sennheiser MKE 600 microphone, shotgun microphone yesterday, which should be delivered tomorrow. So I'm hoping that with the upgrade of the Rode Video Mic Go 2, the crackling under windy conditions will also be a thing of the past. If that's the case, then I think I have a setup that is finally decent enough that no immediate upgrades are really necessary. Now 4K live streaming is of course something to look at somewhere in the future, but I already did some due diligence and it would have to mean getting a new router, getting a new switcher and also getting a new camera that can do 60 frames per second in 4K. Unfortunately, my current camera can only do 30 frames per second, and I did do some testing with 4K, not live, but just recording on the camera itself, and you do really need a higher frame rate when you do the panning, otherwise it gets stroboscope like. Okay, so we have two planes inbound. The first one is the Transavia 737. Now you guys will know by now how these look like, what these look like. So instead I will keep the camera focused on number 2, Queen number 3, which is Silkway West Airways flight 203 inbound from Baku, where it departed 5 hours and 1 minute ago. It is a Boeing 747-400 freighter, the youngest of the 3 we have seen so far, including this one. 17 years old, its first flight March 2006. Photo for you, it's been a pleasure to have you on board again. Thanks for all the comments. Thank you also for your kind donation. I really hope to see you again soon. That will undoubtedly be the case. Have a nice King's Day, and we'll see you again soon. Let me just keep it in center, otherwise my sensitive camera will lose the focus. Now folks, if you guys are watching this and are enjoying yourselves, do consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure that when you do subscribe that you turn on notifications, so that whenever I go live in the future you receive a heads up and can join us once again. It also helps me immensely to reach a wider audience of aviation enthusiasts such as you and me, who would also be interested in content like this. Tina York says, just in time. Absolutely, your timing is superb. Now if you tuned in later and missed the previous 2 747s, I will timestamp those and all the other highlights once I get home, so do check in later. Probably the best 747 landing we've seen in this stream so far. Great sound and a great wheelie. Not sure if it's the longest of the stream, but it was definitely one of the most impressive ones. So it is time for the next traffic to arrive already. It's getting a bit more busy. Here's the next one already. Boeing 737-800 from KLM inbound Oslo, where it left 1 hour and 21 minutes ago. Boeing 737-800, 15 years old, first flight February 2008. And Mike asks if I also stream on Twitch. I don't. I only stream on YouTube, no other platforms. Now, if you just tuned in, you just missed the third queen of the day, at least during the stream, but you're well in time for the arrival of today's king, the daily Emirates A388 Super inbound from Dubai. Expected in less than half an hour. At the moment, I think this is the main runway for arrivals. I did see 1 or 2 airplanes land on 06 still, but it's no longer as busy there as it had been earlier this morning. So it's very probable that the A380 is going to come this way. Marissa already says that the A380 is now above Lelystad. Michael Jackson says it's still only 9 minutes out. Let me also zoom out a little. It's definitely going to come this way by the looks of it. Otherwise it would have already taken a different route. So very likely that we will see the King in 10 minutes. First up is another Boeing 737-800 from KLM, inbound from Stockholm, flight 1108. The airplane is 22 years old, had its first flight in April 2000, so we have a true millennial. Thomas says, nice weather to spot there in Amsterdam. Well, it's starting to get better now. It has been a little cold somewhat first. The sky earlier this morning has been mostly milky, with only a little bit of sun that occasionally peeped through, but it was also more windy, at least to the touch, and the temperature was still in the single digits centigrade. When starting it was 7 degrees C, so that is approximately 44 F. Today's highs are expected to be around 10 degrees C, so that is approximately 50 degrees F. So not exactly spring-like. The wind is blowing from the southeast still, only a few knots, 7 or 8 or so, maybe even less now than it was at the beginning of the stream. It is expected to stay dry today. In the meantime, there are more people who have gathered around, probably in awaiting of the A380. And Marissa says that 06 is mostly used for inbound flights from the west and south. So yeah, exactly, this runway is more than likely the runway where the A380 is going to be directed to. Maggie Lee says hi. Hi there, Maggie Lee. Good to see you again. Happy King's Day, insofar as you are celebrating it today. Next up, Transavia flight 1530, inbound from Shania. Let me see where that is. Route. Okay, well, it's blocking it. Okay, so split screen. When it's in split screen, that is a bit hard for me to see. It is inbound from Shania, where it left 3 hours 37 minutes ago. This airplane is 7 years old, had its first flight in March 2016. Three and a half hours underway, so probably somewhere in Greece or Turkey, Cyprus. Those are destinations that have such travel times approximately. Or it might be somewhere. No, Canary Islands are 4 hours and 15 minutes of flight, I think. So that can be it. Chaim Spitzer says good morning. Good morning to you too. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourselves and hope you have a nice day. It is King's Day over here in the Netherlands, celebrating the 56th birthday of King Willem Alexander. Next up, KLM flight 1156 inbound from Gothenburg. This is a Boeing 737-800 that is 22 years old, had its first flight in July 2000 and it left Gothenburg an hour and 7 minutes ago. Looking a bit further out, the King is also coming. And Marissa saying that Chania or Chania, whatever you pronounce it, is in Greece indeed. Place on the island of Crete. So airplanes ducks and also topography. It's all here on AMS Live. You hear it here first. Well, that's not true, but it sounds nice. Okay, another textbook KLM landing, keeping up the speed somewhat. Continuing down the runway, take a later exit. Now, think that the A380 is going to be number 3 because there's also a Ryanair 737-8 MAX, or MAX 8 I should say, coming in from the west that is probably going to creep ahead before it, which will be number 2 after the number 1, which is KLM flight 1780. That is an Embraer 190, 9 years old, first flight February 2014, inbound from Hamburg, Germany, where it left 40 minutes ago. After that, the Ryanair Boeing 737-8 MAX, or MAX 8. Number 3, most likely Emirates flight 147, inbound from Dubai. The Journey to the Future special livery. Now, also some heavies inbound from the west of the North Sea. 777, Dreamliner from Aero Mexico. The Aero Mexico Dreamliner is already heading southeast, so that is definitely going to 06. Hey! I spy with my little eye the first duck couple of the day. We had to wait for it, but here they are. Enjoying the sunshine, enjoying some food. Exactly. The duck hunter with with his camera has shot a few ducks. Now there's an Embraer landing. You guys will know what that looks like. We've had a duck shortage in the stream so far. We did see one. So what's the final verdict on that bird that we saw earlier? Was it a grebe? Was it a waterhoen? A fut? I'm still left in the dark about what the final verdict was. There was a discussion earlier, but what was it? Okay, so let's leave Mr. and Mrs. Duck alone for now. The Emirates A380 is already on the glide slope. I don't see it yet visually. First we will see the 737 MAX 8 from Ryanair. Okay. No. Let me try that again. Where is it? Visually I have the lights. Hard for me to see on the camera. Let me zoom in a little. Ah, there it is. Okay, got it. No, wait, here it is. Okay. So it can be remarkably difficult to find small landing lights out in the distance when you only have a 3-inch camera screen. It's not even in focus. And you have sun shining and reflecting everywhere. Okay, that is it. And below it to the left is the A380. Okay, so the verdict is that it was a fut. Okay. Okay, so first up Ryanair, flight 3006 inbound Dublin, departed an hour and 1 minute ago over there. Brand new airplane, first flight last year September. After that we are waiting for the Emirates A388 Super. Emirates flight 147, the daily flight inbound from Dubai. Today in the Journey to the Future special livery, A380-800, 8 years old, first flight December 2014. Looking a bit further out to the east, I also see that there is a triple inbound from Shanghai, now flying over Lelystad. Alright, now let's focus at what's at hand. It is the A380. So there is a 777 now flying over Markermeer, heading this way, which will be number 2 probably after the Emirates A380. That is definitely going to be the last plane of the day. I'm going to stick around for the triple. And after that I am calling it a day. Not sure yet if I'm going to be back tomorrow already, because as I said earlier, I am expecting my new microphone tomorrow. Might be a good idea that when I do get it, that I first test everything out. So I might be going out to Schiphol, but I'm not yet sure if I am going to do a live stream already. I am looking to go back again out on Saturday and Sunday and Monday. Weather permitting, of course. That sounded very nice. A royal application of reverse thrust by the king. Now there's an Embraer 175 that's coming in shortly. For now I'm going to keep the camera on the A380. Looks like the 777 inbound from Shanghai is out in a few minutes. So I'm going to make sure that I have the camera back facing north. By the time it becomes visual over the horizon. So the scorecard so far, 3 queens, 1 king. Of course, somewhere out there in the country we have another king walking around, partaking in old Dutch games and whatnot. Becoming visible on the left hand side, for those of you unfamiliar with the layout of Schiphol, is the dedicated ATC control tower that this runway has. This runway is so far removed from the main platform area, it has its own dedicated control tower. It is so far out that the airplanes landing over here have to taxi at least 15 minutes on average before they reach the gate, depending on which side of the terminal building they need to be. So they need to taxi along this whole road with flowers, trees, as you guys can see over here. Basically the path that the airplanes need to taxi along. Now in the distance and also behind the trees over here is the main platform area. You can see some blue airplanes from KLM in the distance, and this is where the original ATC control tower is. Now maybe today when visibility is okay you can see something that is happening over here from over there, but you can imagine that if it is a bit hazy or whatnot, it is even impossible to see. So the A380 is still underway. Marissa has to go. Marissa, it's been a pleasure to have you around again. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thanks for being here again. Enjoy the rest of your King's Day, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Probably will. Until we meet again. Now I am waiting for the final plane of the day. I am going to turn around the camera now. It is a 777 from China Cargo, Air China Cargo. Those names all look alike as well. Air China Cargo flight 1033, inbound from Shanghai. 777 freighter. Renowned, according to Photo For You, for making soft landings, the Chinese. So let's see if this one also lives up to that. According to flight radar, it is approaching, and I do see some lights in the distance, so let me see if I can focus in on it. No. I think there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Air China Cargo, flight 1033, inbound from Shanghai. 777 freighter left Shanghai 11 hours and 23 minutes ago. So it's been on the way almost half a day now. The airplane, 8 years old, first flight was in August 2014. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the last airplane for today. So let me go ahead and thank all of you already in advance for attending once again, making this such a nice channel and a lovely stream. Thank you to each and every one of you for being there. Thanks to everybody who was so kind to donate memberships and super chats and super stickers and PayPal donations. You guys are the best, and it makes it all worthwhile. And hopefully next time I'm going out with the new mic, the audio will be even better than it was already before, especially during windy conditions. I really have high hopes that the Sennheiser will do much better than the Rode did. We'll find out soon enough. I'm looking to go out again on Saturday, maybe tomorrow. No, don't know yet for sure. Don't assume I'm going out tomorrow. If I do go out, then it's a pleasant surprise stream. But I think Saturday is going to be the next day that I am, at least with certainty, going out again. Also, thanks to everyone who became a member. Almost forgot to say that. A lot of my members have been gifted their membership, but there were also people who got member themselves. Thank you so much. And another soft landing, indeed. Lovely spooling down sound when the reversers are no longer being applied. Now the spoilers are already lowered. The flaps are going to go up anytime soon. Typically they start doing that when they vacate the runway. Right, so with the behind of the 777 in our view, I am going to say goodbye to every one of you. For those of you celebrating King's Day today, enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys have a good one. I will see you all again later, maybe tomorrow, and otherwise maybe next in the weekend. Take care and bye bye for now.